My dear students of class 7. So today we will continue the next part of the text, a gift of chappals, right? So here we are. Mridu and Meena followed Ravi out. Means Mridu and Meena followed Ravi when he went out. The beggar was already in the garden, right? The beggar was there in the garden, making himself quite at home. Quite means fully or completely or totally. So the beggar was there in the garden and was feeling at home, means thinking that it was his home. He had spread his upper cloth under the neem tree. Upper cloth, right? Upper part, upper was shirt, yeah, shirt under the neem tree and was leaning against its trunk. Leaning means kind of inclination, right? Means he was sitting and keeping his back against the tree, against its trunk. Actually, trunk means stem, main part of the tree. Okay, apparently prepared to take a little snooze. Okay, apparently means obviously, clearly. Prepared means getting ready to take a little snooze. Snooze means short sleep. So the beggar was sitting against the neem tree and was getting ready to take a short sleep, right? While he waited for the arms to appear, go away, said Ravi sternly. So while he waited for the arms to appear, means to count, to think, to check how many rupees he has. Then he heard, go away, said Ravi sternly. Ravi sternly means strictly. Sternly means strictly, okay, said, go away. My pati says it's time you found another house to beg from. My pati says it is another, it's time you found another house to beg. Means now you will go to another house where from where you can beg, right? The beggar opened his eyes very wide, right? Means he was kind of surprised. That's why opened his eyes very wide and gazed at each of the children one by one. Then there were three children. He was watching them one by one, gazing them one by one. The ladies of his house, of this house, he said at last in a voice choked with feeling. Choked means is kind of frightened. He cannot speak clearly. Choked with feeling. Are very kind, so very kind. The lady of this house very kind. I have kept my body and soul together on their generosity for a whole week. Means I have kept. Means I am here for a week. Means I managed to stay alive for a week for their kindness. Kept my body and soul together means managed to stay alive. So he was saying that I have kept means I managed to stay alive on their generosity for a while, whole week. Generosity means kindness. So on their kindness, I was thinking to stay alive for a week. Okay, and then I cannot believe that they would turn me away. I cannot think they would turn me away. Means they will force me to leave this place. He raised his voice. Just now said in some kind of louder voice. Amma, Amma, oh, means calling. Sad is well might be. His wail means mourning. The way he was calling, it was sad, but certainly wasn't feeble. Feeble means weak. His calling, the way he was calling, might be sad, but not feeble. It began in a deep, strong rumble somewhere in his withered belly and came booming out of his mouth. That voice actually, the source of the voice is from his belly. Withered means dry. Okay, so if you do not drink water for a while, then the kind of voice that comes out from your mouth. So that's the thing. So that's why he said, what? It began a deep, strong rumble. Rumble means kind of what? Sound, right? Kind of sound. Somewhere in his withered, dry belly and came booming out. Means that came booming out, kind of noise came out of his mouth with its few remaining teeth stained brown with betel chewing. What is betel? You know, a green leaf, right? That you know, pan or tambul, that our music teacher what was there means eats or chews. That's why if you chew, then you will have kind of brown teeth. So that's why teeth stain brown. Actually, white kind of layer of brown is what chewing beetle. Ravi, tell him there is nothing left in the kitchen. Called Rukkumani said, nothing left in the kitchen. And he is not to come again, not to come again. Tell him that. She sounded fed up. Okay. Means just kind of fed up, irritated. He was not happy. Irritation, fed up. Right? Ravi didn't have to repeat it all to Beggar because Beggar already heard that what his mother said had been easy for them all to hear. Means everyone could hear that. There under the neem tree, the beggar sat up and sighed. Sat up and sighed. Sighed means kind of deep breath. That means helpless kind of. Then means kind of deep breathing. Right? I will go, he said wearily. Tiredly. Wearily means tired. I will go. Only let me have a rest here under this tree. Means let me allow to take some rest under this tree. The sun is so hot, means scorching heat. The tar has melted on the road. Tar means the pitch of the road, right? Has melted on the road. My feet are already blistered. What is blistered? That boils or bubbles on the skin from burns of or rubbing. So, if any hot thing, water or oil comes and just falls on your hand or leg, kind of blister will form, right? So that's why a chala actually in Hindi, chala, right? So blistered, already blistered. So because he was traveling without any chappal or sandal, that's why blister formation. He stretched out his feet to show large, pink, peeling blisters on the soles of his bare feet. Soles means bottom of his feet, bare means naked feet without any chappals. So he stretched out. Yes, he extended his feet to show large, pink colored, peeling. Peeling means kind of uh, the upper part removed. So that's why peeling blisters on the soles of his bare feet. I suppose he doesn't have the money to buy chappals, Mridu whispered to Mina Rabi. So, whisper means said in low voice, right? I suppose he doesn't have any money to buy the chappals. Have you got an old pair in the house somewhere? Do you have any old pair of chappals in the house? I don't know, said Rabi. Mine are too small to fit his feet. Means my chappals are so small that will not fit in his feet, or I would have given them to him. Means my chappals are very small, so that's why I couldn't give him, or else I could have given him my chappals. And his feet are larger than Mridu's and Mina's. So and his feet are larger than Mridu's and Mina's. So that's why their chappals also will not fit. The beggar was shaking out his upper cloth and tightening his dhoti. Second means, so first he used his upper cloth to sleep. Now he was shaking, like, it was kind of cleaning, right? And tightening his dhoti means preparing to go. He raised his eyes and looked fearfully at the road. Then he raised his eyes and looked at fearfully, frighteningly at the road, gleaming in the afternoon heat. That was blazing, kind of burning in the afternoon heat. He needs something on his feet, Mina said, her big eyes feeling. It's not fair, right? So he needs something on his feet, Mina said, her eyes, big eyes feeling. Feeling means kind of water is coming, so he's feeling sympathetic. That's why feeling. It's not fair. That is SSH. Means kind of noise, irritation. Said Rabi, I am thinking about and thinking. Blubbering, it's not fair. Blubbering means kind of crying, right? Means crying means to show sympathy. That's why blubbering, it's not fair. Means kind of crying, shouting. It's not fair. It's not fair. Isn't going to help, right? It's not fair. Isn't going to help. So we must help him. In 2 minutes, he will be frying his feet on the road. Within 2 minutes, his feet will be fried, right? So frying. What he needs a pair of chappals. So where do we get them? Where do we get them? Come, let's search the house. Let's search the house. He pushed Mridu and Meena into the house. Pushed Mridu and Meena into the house. Means he was going with Mridu and Meena to find out, to search a pair of chappals. Just as he stepped into the veranda, Mridu's eyes fell on the odd looking chappals. Odd looking chappals. Not very good. Kind of awkward, odd. On the different looking chappals she had noticed when she arrived. Right? Noticed when she arrived, when she came. Ravi, she whispered to him, whose are these? Ravi, she whispered, she asked in a very low voice that whose are those chappals? Ravi turned and glanced at the shabby looking but sturdy old slippers. Ravi glanced, means took a look at the shabby looking. Shabby looking means poor condition, very bad condition, shabby looking, but sturdy means strong enough. Old slippers. He beamed and nodded. Beamed means he was much happy. He was signed, right? So he was searching. He got that and nodded, and said yes by shaking his head. These are just the right size for that man. He said, picking them up. He picked them up. Mridu and Meena followed him nervously back into the garden. Followed nervously means nervous, not means happy kind of thing. Means frightened. That's why nervous. Followed the garden. Here, said Ravi to beggar, dropping the slippers in front of the old man. Dropped means gave. Wear this and don't come back. Wear this chapel, don't come back. The beggar stared at the slippers. Means looked the slippers, hurriedly flung his towel over his shoulder. Hurriedly flung his towel over his shoulders means kept the towel over his shoulders, pushed his feet into them, just wore the chapels and left, muttering a blessing to the children. Your blessing means God, may God bless you. You have managed to give me chapel. So blessings. Muttering means whispering, right? In a minute, he had vanished around the corner of the street. Within a minute, he had vanished around the corner of the street. So we will continue from here in the next class. Thank you.